Hello and welcome to today's Thought for the Day. I'm Cliff Underhay, one of the trustees of West Wickham and Shirley Baptist Church. I should like to share with you something God said to Moses many years ago and what Moses passed on to Joshua as he handed over the leadership to him. In the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 31, verse 6, we read, "Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid or terrified, for the Lord your God goes with you. He will never leave you nor forsake you." The Israelites had left Egypt, where they were living in slavery, and were on their way to the promised land. However, things were not going so well as they travelled through the Sinai from Egypt. In fact, many of them hankered after their old life in Egypt, a life that wasn't easy, but was at least fairly secure. They had their homes, something to eat, work to do, and generally a pretty safe, if not a boring and hard life. Now they had left all that behind and were in a strange place, a place that had none of the previous security. They were outside of their comfort zone and were often quite fearful. A few years ago, my wife Christine and I were fortunate enough to visit Egypt and the Sinai. Sinai really is a forlorn place. Miles after miles of nothing but sand and more sand. In fact, we could call it a God-forsaken place. I can quite understand why the Israelites would want to return to Egypt, quite an attractive place in comparison to Sinai. Can you identify a few comparisons with where we are now? The normal has gone. For those of us locked down, unable to visit our families or have visitors, it's starting to become a bit weary. For those of us who are going to work, it's a different world. Public transport has changed, the shops have changed. We consciously avoid each other, at least by 2 metres. And for some, there is the pain and grief of loss and sickness. We long for how things used to be. We long to get back to normal. In all this, we hear God saying, "Be strong and courageous." Those are great words of encouragement, but pretty hollow when things are tough. But the great promise of God swiftly follows. "For the Lord your God goes with you, and he will never leave you nor forsake you." God hasn't said, "Be strong and courageous and get on with it." God has said, "Be strong and courageous, and I'm coming with you." In fact, not only am I coming with you, I'm sticking with you. I will never leave you or forsake you. What a great promise. So whatever you're going through right now, God is with you and he will stick by you, whatever. My very best wishes, and God bless you.